Now, this is a comment that somebody left on YouTube. They said, it was the video I made about the first 50 years of childhood. So this person says, great video, thanks for making it, but I have a question. I had a horrible, traumatizing childhood, but somehow managed to heal myself from it. I've reached inner peace and tranquility. I have exchanged my bad habits for good ones. I have hobbies that I do. I have some good friends, and for the most part, succeeded in my career. I'm only about to hit 23. What now? Obvious answer is have a wife and kids, but I'm surrounded by women that I find childish and immature. To mature women, I'm just like a child due to my age. I'm stuck in a paradox, and that is the only thing that worries me. Do you happen to have some advice? Wow, that's great. Good. You've done all that and you're 23. Well, in my experience, the things that we are working out in our lives can look like a circle when we look at it from the front. Let's say at 12 o'clock is childhood trauma. At 1 o'clock is power. At 3 o'clock is sex. 5 o'clock is money. 7 o'clock is creative expression, and so on. So we deal with the first thing, we deal with our childhood trauma. We go, that's fantastic. And then we deal with the next thing, we deal with the money. Then we deal with the sex. Then we do, we go around. It's great. And then at some point we find ourselves back at childhood trauma. I'm not saying this is in your case, but just, and we go, hang on a minute, I thought I dealt with this. I thought I dealt with it. And there can be a feeling of like, oh my God, I thought I dealt with money. Oh, I thought I dealt with power, whatever. And I think that comes from just perspective, because we're kind of looking at it from the front. We're looking at it like a clock face. But it's actually, if you take that clock face and turn it on its side, you see that it's a cylinder, or not cylinder, a spiral. Now you can go spiral up or spiral down, doesn't matter. But it's like you're going around, I kind of think of it as going deeper. And then up the sides of this spiral are the themes that we're looking at in our life. So, the theme of money, the theme of power, sex, childhood trauma, whatever. So each time we return to the same thing, we've gone down to a deeper part of it. We're processing it deeper. We're working through a deeper part of it. And then we continue on around in the spiral. And eventually we come back to the same thing, but we're deeper. And each time we're going deeper and deeper and deeper, working through our unconsciousness. So, the first time it happens, when you return to the beginning and you're like, oh, wow, I thought I dealt with this. There can be a feeling of like, oh, this is this is terrible. I thought I'd sorted it all out. And remembering this thing of a spiral can be helpful, because if you look for it, you'll see, oh yeah, this is deeper. There's where I was before and how where I'd arrived at before. Now, yeah, this is definitely deeper. So, you've got the different things you've talked about, the, wife and kids. I mean, I wouldn't just assume the next thing is going to be a wife and kids. I would only, I mean, I'd be wondering about, is that something I want? Is it something I really want? Or am I just looking around going, well, everyone else has a new car. I should probably get a new car. Oh, everyone else has got a wife and kids. Yeah, I should probably do that. Maybe not. Maybe that's not the thing for you. Maybe it is, in which case, great. And in terms of like who's attracted to you and who isn't, I think what matters more is who you're interested in. Like if you're not, the women that are your age, you're not that interested in them, that's fine. And if the older women are interesting to you but are not interested in you, well, that's fine as well. I just be open, and someone who's a bit of both will come along or not. It's a matter of just kind of being open to what your preference is, expressing your preference, getting very clear. Well, this is the sort of person I'd like to be with, or be looking into it. I wouldn't just assume you want to be with somebody. Maybe you don't. But if you do, look into it and go, okay, who do I want to be with? What kind of person do I want? Get as clear as you can on that, because it's a neutral field. It will give you back how specific you are about it, and then forget about it and just see what happens, you know. But I think the main thing I would be encouraging you to do is know this thing about the spiral, and that if you find yourself dealing with things that you thought you'd already dealt with, that's fine. It's part of it. You've just gone down another level, and you know, I'm still dealing with stuff I dealt with when I was 23, along the same themes, but the depth that I'm dealing with them at is much deeper now than it was. And that seems to, I've seen that in lots of people that I've worked with as well. The same kind of process, and this idea of a spiral rather than a clock face.